Staying at the fucking Hyatt at 41 years old. You think I want to do that shit? Being in Memphis on a fucking random ass Thursday. I'm not like the first guy to even talk about it in the NBA. Like we all like, you guys have to move. Just go over to Nashville.
So I just saw a video of Stephen A. Smith having an issue with LeBron on a golf course with a bunch of white boys, as he put it, talking about Memphis and how they should move to Nashville. And if you've been paying attention on social media, it's kind of a trending topic right now. I played in Memphis, got a lot of love for the city, but there's no doubt that the city needs to upgrade when it comes to its facilities for pro players. But Stephen A., you shouldn't have a problem with that. You're talking about his words and what they mean to the black community, but you've been the same man in front of the camera for the last handful of months, disrespecting Serena Williams, disrespecting Jasmine Crockett, disrespecting Kamala Harris, and tap dancing for the whole Republican Party, the whole white Republican Party. But you got an issue with LeBron talking about a trending topic, and his words carry weight, and he doesn't understand what his words can do to the black community. Do you understand the bullshit you're talking and what that can do to the black community? We all used to have a lot of love for you, bro, particularly me, because you looked out. But we're not going to forget the bullshit you on right now.
Hey, what's up, guys? So Stephen A. Smith is back in the news once again, and this time it was for calling out LeBron James and his recent comments about the city of Memphis. And in the opening clip, you can hear LeBron James pretty much trashing the city and saying that the Grizzlies need to move to Nashville. And Stephen A. pretty much went off on LeBron because Memphis is a predominantly black city, and losing the team would be a huge loss to the city financially and socially. Hence, that led to Matt Barnes teeing off on Stephen A, and obviously, Smith was going to clap back. So have a listen to what Stephen A. Smith had to say.
That video just showed was some straight bullshit. And I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would associate straight bullshit with him. But that's exactly what I'm calling it. I'm not hard to find. I'm right here. Matter of fact, Matt Barnes, since you so confident that what I'm talking about is straight bullshit, or I'm tap dancing for white Republicans, or I'm disrespecting Serena Williams and Kamala Harris and Jasmine Crockett, you're welcome to come on the show. Hell, I'll pay the expenses. I'll fly you right in. Come on the show. We can debate that topic. We can have that conversation face-to-face, man-to-man, with the cameras rolling. But what you just did, what I just saw, that was fucked up on a multitude of levels. So I'm just going to address it one by one, okay? Couple of things. Let's talk about LeBron. Why y'all all acting, were y'all flamethrowers? You employed by the brother? Why are we overreacting to every damn thing that he's LeBron? He makes news. I report on it. I'm not an influencer. It's my job. It's my job. First Take is on the show, on the airwaves, 10 a.m. to 12 noon every weekday morning. Sirius XM is on the air from 1 to 3 p.m. every afternoon. Forget my political show for a second. Forget the fact that I own my own production company. Forget the fact that I own my own YouTube channel. I just gave you 2 jobs where I'm obligated to address the news. Y'all volunteering. Influencers. I'm a reporter. It's my job. I ain't just sitting up there smoking some weed and then I decide, yo, I want to get this off my chest. Looking like I'm doing one of them Spike Lee videos where I'm strolling on some chair or whatever while I'm talking shit about somebody I'm supposed to be cool with. I'm doing my job. So let me do that job. LeBron James is critical of Memphis. What I said was, because Memphis, the city, is 63% black. And you're talking about the team needing to move from Memphis to Nashville. We know that economically they struggle. We know that once upon a time, crime, pestilence, etc., homicides, murders, thefts, etc., was real prevalent. And then Paul Young came in there and has admittedly and has definitely steered the city in the right direction, and major props to the mayor. But it's still an issue. What I was saying was, knowing how economically ravaged the departure of the Memphis Grizzlies would be, it's not a great look for one of the greatest players in the history of basketball to flippantly discuss the matter on a golf course with a bunch of cats that don't look anything like the 63.5% of the population in Memphis, that the subject needed to be treated with more seriousness than it deserved. That's it. I didn't say LeBron James was awful. I didn't say that he was terrible. I didn't say anything. I'm just saying, because of who you are, might want to be careful. And it warranted that? That's what it warranted? Do y'all understand how this is throwing me off? All the Smoke had me on their podcast years ago just to give me my flowers for who I am and what I represented. I ain't changed. When I was in contract talks and my money was thrown all over the place and people were speculating about what bag was coming down the pike for me, wasn't it Matt Barnes that said this? Stephen A. Smith is one of the biggest personalities, and we're hearing talks that he possibly could get a $100 million contract as a media member. There's still friendly competition on the side of the game as well, because as the money gets bigger for the game, that means the money is going to get bigger for the media. Wasn't it Matt Barnes that said that? Wasn't it me that had been seen on countless occasions talking about, I want everybody to get their bag. I'm happy that people are piggybacking off of me. I'm happy that you're in a position to get paid. And oh, by the way, don't go by just what I say. Use me as the conduit for conversation to springboard off of so you can have something to say and you can get paid too. That wasn't me. I think it was me. Was that me, Josh? That was me. I did that. Because I'm not rooting against anybody. I'm rooting for y'all. That doesn't require you to agree with me. It doesn't require you it doesn't require you to have your own opinions. This is a conversation about respect. Matt Barnes, you know that on my worst day, I would never talk about you like that. Not in a million goddamn years. Not in a million years. You know that. Why? How? Because I've had ample opportunity to do so, and I never have. Not in your entire career. I've always looked out. I've always big upped. I've always had nothing but profound respect for you. And I got to see you on social media popping shit about me like that? Really? Over some shit about LeBron, and then come to find out it ain't even about LeBron. I'll get into that in a second. But just to make sure that I'm not hypocritical here, what were we really talking about with LeBron? I'm sitting there saying, be careful about being so flippant. That's it. Be in a serious confine. Address the issue with the seriousness that it's going to deserve, because it's going to affect the lives of a lot of black people. That's it. I didn't say that the brother don't have his I Promise program. I didn't say that he hasn't done things for the community. I didn't say that he wasn't one of the best people in the world, one of the greatest ambassadors in sports we've ever seen, who's a relatively good dude, regardless of my differences with him. It don't mean I don't hate him. I'm over all of that. I want him to do well. I want us to celebrate him. But when he does something that makes news, if it's for the wrong reasons, I got to call it like I see it, because that's my job. Just like when he's busting everybody's butt and looking like he's 10 years younger and doing all the things that he's doing to uplift himself and the Lakers. I talk about him positively, like I did the week before, and the week before that, and the month before that. But you forgot about that, didn't you, Matt Barnes, didn't you?
So yeah, that was Stephen A. Smith's response, and I totally get where he's coming from, because it is crazy some of the flack he is receiving for his political takes. I mean, it's like he can't criticize one side, because he has been throwing shade at both Democrats and Republicans, but has only received vitriol from the black community. And I think it's very unfair Stephen A. Smith receives the type of treatment for his political takes. It's politics. You can criticize your representatives, and they're not free from criticism. That said, I like how he clapped back at Matt Barnes, kind of questioning if he's being paid by Clutch Sports, because it wouldn't be the first time. I think LeBron has an army of media heads under his payroll. Anyways, with that said, what do you think about Stephen A. Smith's response to Matt Barnes?